Welcome back. You're still watching Nile Cruise, dear viewers, and we have with us now Mr. Mohamed Al Qubeisy, and he's the Director General of Downtown Zone Affairs. A very good day, sir, and
Hi,
it's a
how are you?
pleasure to have you with us in today's episode of Nile Cruise, sir.
Thank you so much.
Sir, as of course, Sakakini Palace is hidden in the middle of a quite busy area in Egypt. Upon arrival, one instantly wonders that the urban surroundings must have looked like in 1897 at the time of its construction. Can you tell us more of this amazing site, sir?
Uh, okay, so that's Sekakini Palace. We are near in downtown, and this palace built at 1897 by Habib Basha Sekakini. His name is Habib Gibrail Ilyas Hanna Sekakini. El Sekakini mean the knife maker. This man came.
Sir, sorry to interrupt you. Sakakini knife maker.
Yeah.
Is it his name or is it
It's
a
a title of
nickname
his
that
family.
It's a title of
Yeah,
his
yeah,
family, but the definition was later.
Yeah, that's right. Because this man, he have Lebanon, have Syrian. The family came during the first part of the 19th century. He came. He when was 16 years old. So he built this house in 97.
House, a palace.
So it's his palace. Yeah, it's a great house. Okay.
House is underestimated.
Yes,
Too much
it's a great house. Yeah.
underestimation.
So he built this at the 19. After he became a wealth man, because he take his fame from the working with the Lesseps, digging of Suez Canal, because they suffer raids that attack the tools and the people who work in the digging of Suez Canal. So he have a good and simple idea. He brought starving cats by camels from Cairo and release it there. So the cats ate the rats up there. So he became known by the Khidr Ismail.
Sir, this palace is built by an Italian architect. So what's unique about this place?
Okay, that's one of the examples of the palace that we have in Egypt. Because, Habib Basha Sekakini, he went to Italy and he saw a palace there and he was fascinated by this palace. So he asked one of the architects to make a replica like this palace. So they built the palace on the Renaissance time palaces, and the decoration was Baroque and Rococo, but most here Rococo style.
Sir, how do you add touristics? Do tourists know more about it, and how are we supposed, as a media channel, of course, and as you here, a very important person that's responsible for this with us in our program, how do we how can we make or give more knowledge to the tourists that visit Egypt that there is this amazing touristic site that they should be visiting during their visit to Egypt?
Actually, now this place is not for visiting. For the
Oh,
tourists.
it's not.
Yeah. Later on, I hope it will be.
Why isn't it?
Because it needs some restoration. But it's allowed to the students who study in fine arts college to come here to make some draw scenes, because it's a real example of the palace here in Egypt. But what can we do? It's your work. The media can do it.
Okay, sir, do we know any information about the owner of this palace, the Sakakini Pasha? Was he married? He lived here with his family, or we just know the name only?
Okay, I said the name. And it's now the street is nearly 3 or 4 kilometers from here. So he was a smart guy. So I told you about the story of the starving cats. So Khidr Ismail, he knew him. So Khidr Ismail ordered him to work in the building of the Egyptian opera under the supervisor of the architecture who built the opera. And this man, he got the title of Bey, or Bek, this Ottoman title, when he was 39 years old. And he got the title of Basha too, Ottoman title, and he got the title of Count, as, yes, by the Leo the 13th, because his what he did for his community in Egypt, because he was a Catholic Christian.
Sir, how many rooms and how many floors does this palace comprise?
Okay, so if we look from here to up, from the bottom to the top, to the end of the wooden dome, top is nearly 42 meters height. Okay, we have a basement. There are 6 rooms and, and the first floor, three halls, 4 towers. Each was connected to the reception hall, and each tower of 2 floors. This floor in the ground, first floor, and the second floor is about of the sleeping room, and all the towers is covered by shallow dome or small dome.
Sir, of course, we are not
And
allowed to.
yes,
Yeah, okay,
yeah.
of course.
So that's the first floor. Second floor, it have the Arabic hall. It have some decoration by the Arabic style and some from Coptic style. And it was the first of all before the addition of Henry. It was 6 rooms, but later on, Henry, the son of Habib Pasha Sakakini, he added another 2 rooms. So there are 8 rooms with 3 bathrooms in the second floor.
What about the wooden room that you said that was
The
on
wooden
top
dome,
of the
yeah, yeah. You know, as I told you, the height to 42.
42?
Yeah, you can reach to the fuel stairs. You know, they made this wooden dome by wood. They didn't use any cement or any blocks, just to relieve the wood above the palace. Yeah, and from there you can look to all the area. From there, from this wooden tomb, you can watch the pyramids. You can look to the citadel of Muhammad Ali and the whole area.
So, is there any furniture or any of his stuff still there in the palace?
Oh, no, we didn't find any
It's,
furniture.
it's
Uh, Habib Pasha, he born at 1842 and he died at 1923. And Henry and his family has just one son, and the son have 6 children, 3 boys and 3 girls. They lived here, and they served as a residence for Ittihad al-Ishtiraki for a part of time, and it served as a museum for health ministry for nearly 40 years till 2000. Any furniture in because it's used many times by many different clothes.
Sir, this Rococo style that we see now is not style.
I can't hear
This
you.
Rococo style that we're seeing now, or
Yeah.
we're seeing in this palace, it's not an Egyptian style. It's more European, and it was quite rare in Egypt.
Yeah.
How was the Sakakini inspired to do this or to make this?
Okay, so I think you asked me about the relationship between Sakakini or Khedeo Ismail.
Yes.
Both of them, they are fascinated by the European style of decoration of the building. So because Khedeo Ismail, he studied architect in France, and Habib Pasha Sakakini, he was a French citizen. So he brought, as I told you, I told like palaces in Italy. So he brought an Italian architect, and they use the European decoration like Baroque and Rococo, because you know if you this street, there are 9 streets located in this palace, because this palace is considered the center point of the square. If you look from a far distance, you will look the palace will look like onion from far distance with four corners and the four towers in the four corners. Rococo. So we an Italian designer and some Italian people to make the decoration. They made everything, all the decoration like that they do in their country. So most of the decoration inside this palace from the Rococo style. If we look to the shells, it's kind of the Rococo style and the palace, the angels, you beat, etc., etc., etc.
So Sakakini Pasha was a contractor, businessman.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
tell us more about his character.
Okay, first he started when he was 20 years old with dealerships. And he released the cats, and so he take a fame because I was a smart guy. And Khidir Ismail, he asked him to share in the building of the Egyptian opera in downtown. So, and he established a cemetery for that he was buried with his family in Coptic Cairo for the Catholic Christian, and he built many buildings in the whole city of Cairo.
Sir, for those who don't know about the Rococo style, can you tell us more about the Rococo style?
Okay, you know, Rococo, it's a French word, mean chill.
Meaning?
Chill.
Chill?
Chill, yeah, chill. From the sea. So, chill, sorry, chill. So, most of the details, it has the curved lines like chill. Yeah. And you know, Rococo depend on the small units, not like Baroque. Rococo is a Baroque is considered on the huge units, but Rococo is more similar than the Baroque.
So we say that this is more to French style than
Yeah, that's
English or any other Italian. It's more
it
French.
wasn't built in the most of Europe during that time, especially in France and Germany and Italy. Yeah.
Sir, is there any special events that took place here in this palace? Any important incidents or any stories that people doesn't know about it?
No, we just use it for some movie. Just take some photos from the movie, like Heya Fauda, some songs. Nothing.
Yeah.
What would
And it was it was a museum for the the Ministry of Health for about 40 years.
40 years?
40 years, yeah. You know, some people believe there's many ghosts in this place, but it's fake. It's not right.
Sir, what are the important landmarks in downtown area which you supervise as a director, of course, of this?
Actually, I'm not supervisor of downtown. I'm here. I work in the Middle Cairo Inspectorate. Downtown is different place, but you know we have in our area we have very famous places. You know, the Egyptian Museum in Middle Cairo Inspectorate. It's built at 1897, and they finished the building at 1901, and the opening it was 19. For and you know the Islamic Fine Art Museum in the same area, and you have, you know, Abdin Palace. Is the museum in Abdin Palace because Azerbaijan belong to the presidential palaces, and we have a Virgin Mary tree. The holy jet, the holy journey of the Holy Family that came from Bethlehem and Palestine, and they reached to Egypt, and they spent 3.5 years, and they came back again after the death of Herod. All this we have in this area. Yeah.
Sir, this place here is a unique piece of art between many buildings around it. So can you describe the area before these tall buildings were built?
Actually, it was a swamp here, but he had chose this place and he bought the area here because he lived in the nearby in El Fagala, nearby here. Yeah, it was nothing here, just swamps.
What, sir, are among those that you mentioned, the sites that you mentioned in this area that are very famous to tourists and the tourists come over and visit regularly?
You know, nearby here, we have Islamic Cairo, the Mazi Street, is nearly 3 kilometers a meter far. We have downtown, of course, because you know downtown is like France exactly, because Khadir Ismail he want to imitate Paris or make the city of Cairo or downtown like Paris. So all the streets are crossed, and the facades on the Renaissance time and Baroque and Rococo, of course, decoration, and the museum, like the Egyptian
Of course,
museum.
the Egyptian Museum. Is the Egyptian Museum, sir, the most famous touristic site that tourists come to Egypt to visit?
Of course.
Among all of what you mentioned?
Yeah, you can find anything like this in the whole world. Yeah, yeah, it's very important. The Egyptian Museum and Moaz Street in Islamic Cairo is considered open museum. There are 30 monuments in just one street. It's nearby here. Yeah.
Well, sir, we'd like to thank you very much for joining us today on Nile Cruise.
Thank
Sir,
you.
thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
Dear viewers, we're going to be for the top stories and then we're going to be back again with Nile Cruise. Stay tuned, please.